Hey everyone, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho here with one of our JFO Just Find Out key resources and sponsors, sharing with you ways how to protect your nachos. I have here Chris Jordan, CEO of Fluency Security, who's going to share with us how do we protect our practices from cyber attacks, where are vulnerabilities. Chris, thanks for being here. Share with our audience what you do and how you guys help protect dentists.
Well, we help push out an infrastructure that helps them secure their basic resources, just like computers, just to keep the hackers and bad things from happening, make sure they can recover their data.
Got it. So basically, we have antivirus software for our own personal computers, but when we have a practice network, dental offices, they can be fairly sophisticated. They need a sophisticated level of protection. Is that what you guys have found?
Yeah, I mean, so if you want to say what's the number one thing you have to do to protect yourself, right? Right now, regardless of us, the biggest thing is you have to get rid of the old AV. You know, your father's AV is just not going to be good enough anymore.
AV stands for antivirus?
Antivirus, yeah, I guess I got the lingo going.
Yeah.
And I'll give you two more words. So one or two more acronyms. One's EPP, one's EDR. And in our industry, that's two different worlds. EPP is endpoint protection. That's what every Joe uses today.
Gotcha.
Every company that does business today that really makes money, they use EDR, endpoint detection and response. It's a major change in our industry. If you get ransomware, you're done.
Right.
But not with the EDR. Tools like SentinelOne can actually recover your data. It's never lost. It keeps everything in what's called a shadow drive, and you just bring it right back.
And
right?
that's so important. I mean, I'm a practice owner with two practices. There's so many things, you know, the nachos is a good theme. It can drive you nacho nuts with all the toppings you have to deal with as a practice owner. And we had a ransomware attack where everything went perfectly afterwards, if that's a word for it, but it was still one of the most stressful periods of my entire life owning a practice, even though we had protection. You told me a story about a client, they hired you guys and they didn't even know what about their data.
Well, they didn't know it was all going to Europe. I mean, I just talked about endpoint. There's a lot more in your organization. You have cloud data like Office 365. You've got network data. We grab it all, we analyze it. And from day one, they were losing gigabytes of data just leaving their network. Yeah. And it was like, what's happening? And we looked into it, and sure enough, it was a pop box. It was a box that was infected, and the people were just literally downloading everything that person had.
And what you're sharing is so valuable to our audience, because one of the things we help with is we help dentists buy and sell practices. And just like buying and sell homes, you take over an older home and you need to upgrade things. You take over a practice, the practice owner could have been trying his or her best, but they just didn't have in place what was needed to protect them. Now in this transition period, you can reach out to a company like yours to help you. Do you guys help with things like that?
All the time, all the time. In fact, you brought up like merger and acquisitions, big, whether you're big or small, you're absorbing something that you know nothing about. And so just like you have to learn the clients, you have to learn your network. It's very important. Knowledge is everything in everybody's industry. Knowledge of your computer systems is huge if you want to secure them.
I mean, this is just so critical stuff they don't teach us in dental school. We're proud to have Fluency and you, Chris, as a key resource and sponsor. One way to reach out to you to learn more, JFO, just find out, is to text security to 215-543-6454. You can text the word security to 215-543-6454. And Chris, if somebody's watching, how can they reach out to you directly? What's the best website for them to go to?
You know, the easiest way is you just go to our website, fluencysecurity.com. And in it, there's a little chat box. You can just fill it in and it goes to our Slack. So awesome. Everybody in our company hears it and they'll talk right back to you.
This is the time, dental nachos, dentists seeing humans, to protect yourself. There's so many things going on. You want to make sure that if you have a scenario, you have the right people in place, you have the right products in place. Fluency Security can help you with that. Thanks so much for being on with us, Chris.
Thanks, Paul.